Invisible Man is a recurring figure in the history of horror. An archetype of good intentions gone awry and the corrupting effects of power. This transparent spin on mad scientists first appeared on film in 1933. James Whale, fresh off of Frankenstein, directed this masterful adaptation of H.G. Wells' classic novel. Claude Rains stars as a scientist who has invented an invisibility serum he hopes will be a boon to humanity.
There's a way back, you fool.
But the formula has an unfortunate side effect. It drives him insane.
You're crazy to know who I am, aren't you?
Once he's invisible, all the bad things that he wants to do, all the power that he wanted, becomes available to him.
If you raise a finger against me, you're a dead man. I'm strong, and I'll strangle you.
It's almost like a superhero story that goes bad. You gain these incredible powers, but what do you do with them when you have them?
We'll begin with a reign of terror. Murders here and there.
He derails a train and kills dozens, if not hundreds of people. He's murdering people willfully and gleefully in a way that is saying, if you are this obsessed, if you are this level of mad scientist, you will lose your humanity.
Part of the appeal of Invisible Man movies are the special effects.
Morning. Morning.
Every version pushes the effects technology of its day to the limit.
I loved the original movie.
Look.
Just from an effects standpoint, when he takes the nose off and the eyeglasses off, and they had the fake head that you could see inside and see the inverse of the bandages.
Then every Invisible Man film after that is essentially doing riffs on the same thing, like Lord Rains unwrapping the bandage to reveal nothing. It's the same effect as Carpenter's memoirs of the Invisible Man. The same effect in Paul Verhoeven's Hollow Man. But they were doing it in the 30s when computers literally didn't exist.
Hollow Man stars Kevin Bacon as a particularly loathsome version of the arrogant scientist corrupted by power.
Don't even think about it.
That one is certainly the most id-based Invisible Man.
Who's gonna know?
The way I describe, the Hollow Man is, oh, I'm invisible. Time to rape. No one can really answer the question, if I became invisible, I know what I would or wouldn't do.
Oh, man, if it was me, I'd be people whispering in their ears.
It would be like being granted a horrible, horrible responsibility to behave yourself. I don't think anybody would necessarily know what they would do with that power unless they had it.
Lee Whannell's 2020 update of The Invisible Man gives us an equally repellent but far more insidious version of the character.
The 2020 Invisible Man is the best version of Invisible Man, and I'm including the H.G. Wells novel that inspired the whole concept. It's an intensely terrifying picture.
Elizabeth Moss plays a woman trapped in an abusive relationship with a hyper-controlling tech genius. She escapes his clutches. Soon after, he seems to die by his own hand. Then, strange and terrible things begin to happen. Her ex has faked his death and is now using an invisibility suit to torment her.
Invisible Man takes this idea of invisibility and projects it into a story which is about stalking and about control, real-life terrors of surveillance that I think everyone faces, but women especially.
For much of the movie, the Invisible Man is neither seen nor heard, but he's always there. methodically sabotaging the woman's attempts to break free.
It was hard to watch because it's about abuse. He has figured out a way to be invisible, to be in this place of no one believing you and no one understanding, and no one's gonna see it happen. So how do you plead your case? How do you get out of it? How do you get help? That's what's tormenting about watching her experience, is trying to escape a bad relationship. That's all you want to do, is just escape this bad relationship. And he's figured out a crazy, super intelligent way to keep hold of you.
He was always going to find you, no matter what he had to do.
I think the most impactful scene for me was in the restaurant. The restaurant scene with her sister.
I found something that can prove what I'm experiencing, that can prove that Adrian is stalking me.
As she's explaining and begging for her sister to pay attention, and the moment that she does,
It's some kind of suit that Adrian has built.
you just see this knife floating. The knife just lingers for a split second.
Like,
It happens so fast. So real. That's exactly how we would react, in shock. And how Elizabeth Moss just stood there, silent and broken in the restaurant.